Audible's best of 2024 picks are here. Discover the year's top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals in all your favorite genres. From memoirs and sci-fi to mysteries and thrillers, Audible's curated list in every category is the best way to hear 2024's best in audio entertainment. Like a stunning new full-cast production of George Orwell's 1984. Heartfelt memoirs like Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's Lovely One. The year's best fiction, like The Women by Kristen Hanna, and Percival Everett's brilliantly subversive James. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Go to audible.com/imagine and discover all the year's best waiting for you.
Hey, Prime members! Have you heard? You can listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free-podcast. That's amazon.com/ad-free-podcast to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of December 22nd, 2024. We are deep into bowl season. We are almost at the holidays, and we are here to give you something to listen to while you are traveling and or avoiding people. As always, I am Jordan. With me tonight, I have Commish, Beth, Pitt Girl, Arthur on ones and twos, and special guest Jamie at Glitterburrito on all the social medias. Jamie, how are you?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Jamie,
We're
for
so
folks
happy
that,
to have you.
oh yes, absolutely. Jamie, for folks that don't know, what are your fandoms?
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm an Alabama alum. I can hear the boos and the sighs now across the listening audience. And I honestly am fully, spoiler alert, full Oregon in this playoffs. Like, I want the Ducks to win it all. So that's where I stand.
All right.
For our listeners, Alabama is a football team. We don't talk about them very much.
We
but,
don't. Well, the only time we really talk about them is to talk about 2007 and what happened. You know,
right.
We had to mention
You also might remember them losing to Vandy. So
Right.
I mean,
there was
we
that
did
one
talk
thing
about
they
that.
did this season that was very, very funny.
That happened.
We learned about the goalpost yearning for the sea.
That's right.
They do. They long to be aquatic. Yeah.
Beth, how are you?
The Macarena count for today is at 18, and the stomach flu count is at 3.
Oh no!
Jesus Christ!
This is what happens when my nieces and nephews visit. They want to play the Macarena on repeat, and apparently also they get stomach flu. It's going great.
What's the Venn diagram of the stomach flu and the Macarena look like?
Right, like it's spreading.
2 circles, or is it like rapidly becoming one circle?
I think it's rapidly becoming like we're almost to the point of like these are the same image.
Oh no!
I'm rooting for the Macarena to make it a little bit more of a blowout over stomach flu, if at all possible.
Yeah,
I mean, stomach flus often have a blowout, so it's
I
okay.
was going to say
It's true. You can't win.
I might be wanting a new carpet cleaner for Christmas.
Oh God,
that might be where I am at this point. Yeah, it's not great.
God.
Not great.
Girl, how are you?
I'm fine still.
I am glad to hear that Beth is still fine for now. I am good. A small town in my area that has not historically been a cool place now has a very cool food hall / bar in it, and I was there last night. Yeah. So shout out to Red Lion, PA, which is cool now, I guess.
Sure. Commish?
Did the fancy over the weekend SeaWorld trip, like the Christmas lights at SeaWorld, which you do in San Antonio. Yeah, it was like 70, maybe 65 with the wind. It was
not
nice.
real Christmassy weather, yeah.
Not necessarily. Yeah.
I have several follow-up questions about a water-based park having
Yes.
lights.
If you ever see like that meme online, like what do you mean like Sea World? It's Pool World. That was basically the guy in front of San Antonio. Sea World, yes. And then the Christmas lights thing, just it's kind of a theme park thing here, which like the Six Flags Fiesta Texas they do like Christmas lights, and they try to make the park seem Christmassy. And
I did like the porpoise wearing a vest.
Yes, there
A
was
mascot porpoise, not an actual porpoise, just so we're
yes,
clear.
Oh.
yes, definitely. We don't need any more.
I feel like any local establishment this time of year can do Christmas lights. Like if you
They
have a big
try.
enough, like amusement parks, zoos, like aquariums, anything. I mean, what would be the weirdest place to do Christmas lights that still has like a kind of like a campus area or something?
A cemetery.
Abandoned, haunted, insane asylum.
That's more Halloweeny, but I was
strip club.
no.
Oh, you know they're decorating for the holidays.
I bartended at a strip club. Yeah, there were Santa hats involved.
In true Atlanta fashion, there's a drive-through, air quotes around drive-through, because you technically do drive through it, Christmas light display that's literally just like a zigzag in a big ass parking lot. But because
we have that in San Antonio, but it's on the shooting range. Thankfully, the hours are different.
I'm imagining them handing you a gun. You get to shoot out your window.
Well, it's like you drive through and you do like the radio station at this, and then they play like the Christmas music that aligns with, the lights you're going through at the same time. So it's fine. But like it's basically at the shooting range.
Jordan, I have had an idea.
Yes.
Oh, another business idea?
Yes, $1 million idea. Property of Sickos Committee, TM, holiday laser tag. So you have to drive through, and they give you the laser gun, and it's like the one roller coaster at Hershey Park where you have the little thing, the indoor one where you shoot all the little targets. It's like that.
Yeah, Bessie, I fear you've gentrified drive-bys.
I was gonna say this sounds like Buzz Lightyear of Star Command at Disney, but yes, same thing.
Yes,
That's more
but
wholesome.
outside and for Christmas.
When you said you were still in your car.
Yes.
Yeah, still
Yes,
a laser
that's
tag
silly.
while driving. Yeah,
What about paintball? Give me an actual paintball gun. Just show me a car window.
As you saw, in my unit this week on the 12 Days of Christmas, I was having my my elementary school kids count up whether they gave more birds or more people in the song the 12 Days of Christmas. It gets way more horrifying if you think about it that way. And the more I think about it, like our little like drive-through Christmas lights thing is very 12 Days of Christmas themed. Like all of them are in there, and that's really just Duck Hunt. That's all that is. By the way, it's birds. They give more birds than people.
Okay.
If there was a 13th day of Christmas, people would take it, but alas, they're not.
Birds without teeth.
Birds don't have teeth.
No.
I feel like we need to start with the discourse.
Oh.
Can we talk about, because there's not a lot to say about the first round of playoff games. I don't know how many details we want to get into. We will eventually. But Pitt Girl, I know that you had tagged a little bit of time, reserved it for some discourse.
Yeah, I want to take a couple minutes to talk about the discourse. I want to talk about the discourse on Blue Sky specifically, because that's where I am now. Number one, I am like user number 75,000 on Blue Sky. Do not come at me being like, Sports Blue Sky has arrived. Bitch, we've been here. Don't.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, I had somebody up in my mentions, and Jamie, please don't take this personally. This is not about Alabama, except how it is about Alabama.
It's fine.
Had somebody up in my mentions making the like ass backwards argument. I've seen so many people making this argument, including ESPN, that
we'll get there.
The outcomes of the games being poor means that the teams who are there shouldn't have been there. That's not how this works. Linear time was a mistake, but we do not get to go backwards and work backwards from the results. That's not how this should work. Number one. Number two, if you are in there, say in my mention, saying that to me, and then proposing fixing this by making the SEC its own thing, because Alabama should be in the playoff every time, all the time, please, why are you watching this sport? Please just leave. Like, this is not what you should be here for. This is not what any of us should be here for. Please just go watch the NFL if you want this boring ass shit. Like, come on, man. I just the discourse is exhausting.
Now, Jamie, how excited were you to watch Tennessee get absolutely bodied? Was that fun for you?
So I was actually at the Hawks-Grizzlies game for the majority of this game.
Even better.
Perfect
Good choice.
Because so I got the tickets before I knew who was going to be in that specific game. But we had the bougie seats that give you access to the little like players club on the court side where it's like a sports bar and like a TV and stuff. So anyways, so I literally have my phone like on YouTube TV propped up on the railing. I was like, all respect to the players in the court. However, I was like, I'm still going to watch this football game. And honestly, I did want them to win. Shocker. I am that person who's like, fine. If we're not in it, then like maybe someone who beat us can get pretty far, like help our strength of schedule or whatever. And I just didn't realize it was going to be that bad. So I come out of the Hawks game and the first thing I do is see the updated score on a TV at a different bar that we're walking by back to like where we parked. And I just go, oh, Vols, like out loud. And I was with another Alabama alum and she just goes, oh my God. And it was fugly, you guys. It was very fugly.
It was.
My favorite thing to watch in this whole weekend was watching the discourse evolve in real time. Because it's not often that it gets so bad and so overwhelming so fast. I think the problem was also is that we had 2 game days. So all of a sudden the discourse got significantly worse because on Friday night, we have the Notre Dame Indiana game. Notre Dame wins that one. And then immediately on Saturday morning, everyone gets to talk about this. And we got Kirk and we got Reese and we got all the folks talking about how blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, we roll right into SMU. SMU gets blown out. That just amplifies things. And we all start pointing fingers. But then the most beautiful little petit four, the most beautiful little like pastry was handed to me. Because then Tennessee eats shit. And so all of the stuff from the last 4 games, this all of a sudden starts to unravel beautifully. And
thank you to the people out there who are pointing out that if any of the discourse was internally consistent, we would also be talking about how the SEC must suck ass because Tennessee got their ass kicked. But we're not doing that. I wonder why that is.
I mean, like, I'll be honest. If we're talking about discourse, like, I've opted out of most of that. Like, I didn't, when I hear about like, oh, people are saying this, it's like, well, I didn't bother to read that. But the one area that it really gets me, right? Because like, I haven't watched game day. Actually today, like this weekend was probably the most of like a game day that I've seen in a long time because I was like at dinner during when like game day was on the TVs before the Notre Dame Indiana game. Yeah, I walked over to Indiana. I was like, I'm going to be in the same state as this game for like the first drive and then walk back to my hotel. Because there's like a bridge. You can just walk right across the Ohio River. But I was really astounded by how much they were filling, right? Like there's literally one game on between
that was the problem.
Game day airing and the next episode of College Game Day. Man, they were on for like 3 hours.
It was way too much. Yeah.
I looked up at the TV. I saw they were doing like the Pat McAfee field goal thing. Like I went to the bathroom, came back, like the dude still hadn't even attempted the kick. I was like, I don't know about all that. But the one area, like it was on mute. I wasn't really paying attention. But the one area where I was like, damn, like people are even talking about this during the actual game broadcast. That's what really, really kind of got to me because I'm not sure you see any other sport where like, even if a team isn't playing well, like it's not like a referendum on that team, right? Like if you're watching like the NBA playoffs and I don't know, like the Chicago Bulls are the 8th seed and they're getting swept out of the first round, like the commentators don't feel like they need to fill time by being like, oh, like, man, these Bulls suck. Like we this is a very disappointing team, right? Like you might hear a little bit about like, oh well, like this isn't how they wanted it to go, stuff like that. But like it doesn't represent itself as like a complete, kind of characterization of the whole franchise, right? And like, I don't know, college football, like these games, probably the only time I've like been watching a game and like the actual paid broadcasters are like, this sucks. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
girl.
it's
I don't
weird.
know.
I'm gonna like lightly steal from our intellectual parents, the Shutdown Fullcast,
Yeah.
and point out that some of this is also just about framing. Like, why at the end of Notre Dame, Indiana, are we talking about Indiana sucking instead of celebrating the fact that Indiana has historically actually legitimately really sucked, and this season is a really big deal for them? Why are we framing it like they didn't deserve to be here instead of this is an incredible accomplishment for a historically tragic program? Like, they're why is ESPN framing this? Was all of this was ESPN's idea, and the discourse around it is framing it like it's dumb and that we shouldn't be watching it. And I don't understand what the goal is. Like,
Were they
do you
negging
want us
us
to
for
watch
watching
this
the
or
playoff?
not? Like,
I
They're like,
you know
how,
what? Yeah, go
they
ahead.
were negging us. It's like, hey, you don't.
Uh-huh.
No, this playoff's not good enough for you.
Now,
can
I
do
will
better.
say that what I really
You can
enjoyed,
find some
however,
other better playoff, which we did
was
in the FCS playoffs. But yes,
what I really enjoyed was the home field. I want to mention this because this to me is something, and like I love bowls. We all love bowls here,
mhm.
but those on-campus games, they hit real different. And I was very happy with this. I think that this is going to become an issue for the Bulls very soon, but we will see what happens when we get there. I think that the home field advantage is correct. I think that as part of the playoff, we can talk about the seeding, whatever. We can talk about that later on. But giving home field advantage in that first round matters a ton because that was some absolutely electric environments.
think about what you're asking these teams to do that are the lower seats. You're asking them to go into a hostile environment in really inclement weather, almost everywhere except Austin, which was fine, I guess, like 50. Which really, I would say that the home field advantage was key because you're asking these teams that just barely got in the playoff to go on the road to a hostile environment to face a better team and come out there and upset them. That's what you're asking them to do. You're asking Indiana, who has never done this before in the history of their program, to go to the team in the state that refuses to play them because they were so bad for so long.
Commish, I was just talking about this and going, we're going to have to redo our best season of all time for the worst teams of all time for Indiana because we just had Indiana's literal best season of all time.
It was this one.
This is in 100 years of Indiana football. This is the high watermark, folks. You're seeing 100-year flood event.
It's like 150 years of Indiana football. This is the high watermark.
Yeah, this should be celebrated. Like celebrate Indiana. You had a fantastic season. There's no shame going to South Bend in ridiculously cold weather with your Canadian QB. That just.
Hey, Jakey Hand or something. He still wasn't.
No, I'm just. He wasn't 100%. There. It wasn't 100%. But like, look, man, Notre Dame had more dudes. This is Indiana coming off of a 3-9 with a new coach to transfer portal in so many players. You don't have any depth. You're going on the road to like hostile South Bend, which I've probably never seen it that loud ever. And you got to go in there and. You can't make mistakes, but they make mistakes because they've never been in an environment like that. And now you'll be like, "Oh, Indiana deserve to be here."
Act like you've been there. They haven't.
They haven't.
Don't act like you've been there. You don't know that.
Well, I think one thing that we always, at least I love to talk about during the regular season, is a trap game. And that's not something that you're going to get once you get to the playoffs. Like,
Nope.
nobody is going, at least at this stage, right? Maybe in a few years, if there's a, like Ohio State has made this like every year, like maybe they look past a playoff game. But like the first ever 12-team playoff, nobody's looking past round one. And you have 2 weeks to prep. Like you're not gonna catch someone. I mean, you'd have to have a crazy game plan to catch someone out.
Like I think it was for Notre Dame and Indiana. It was about 20 to 21 days. They had 3 weeks to prepare. That's almost like a full bowl preparation for this game. And basically, you know these teams inside and out. And if you go on the road, not experienced, you're gonna make mistakes in the hostile environment. And you're asking these underdog teams to do this, and just because you want a closer game, you don't always get what you want. Believe me, if I did, ULM would have had a bowl game this year. But again, it doesn't happen that way. And one thing I made a joke post about, like I did a New York Times PitchBot tweet. It was like home field advantage too powerful. We must put these NFL stadiums, these playoff games in NFL stadiums to lessen the power. Yep. And then I was like, that doesn't work either. There's still blowouts happen.
Yeah,
it happens. Yeah. Blowouts happen.
So, friend of the show, Hoover Street Rag, also pointed something out yesterday while the discourse was discoursing that I think is correct.
The discoursening part 2.
Yes, the discoursening. Okay. Last year, we were incredibly fortunate to get 2 bangers in the semis, and the national title game was okay.
It was, I mean, it was close.
It never happens.
And that never, ever happens. And I think everybody forgot how much previous iterations of the playoff have sucked in various games. Usually there are, at least in the 4-team playoff, there were at least 2 clunkers. You get one.
Remember?
Good
Do you
one,
remember
maybe.
LSU dropping like 49 on Oklahoma in like the first half?
I mean, we saw this shit in the BCS too.
Yes.
I feel like the only person who remembers Brent Musburger spending the entire second half of Notre Dame, Alabama being weird about how hot Catherine Webb is.
Oh my gosh.
That was so weird. Oh my God.
Yes, that happened. That's Notre Dame's fault, I guess.
And this is something that we have the memory of goldfish in this sport sometimes, I swear to God, because there have been so many blowouts in the playoffs. There have been blowouts in the BCS title games. It happens. It doesn't mean that someone shouldn't be there.
Do you remember what happened to the first 4-team playoff game? Do you remember what happened in that one?
I remember Michigan State.
Do you remember Jameis Winston falling backwards and fumbling and Oregon winning 59-20? Yes.
I do remember that. That one was funny.
We did RKO memes. We enjoyed that. We didn't talk bad about Indiana. What are they doing here? SMU, they didn't belong. No, we just made fun of Jameis Winston falling hilariously with a fumble and getting returned for a touchdown. That's what we did. And now it's just like we got 12 teams and you want to be mad about it because a team with 3 losses didn't get in.
Yeah.
What do you sound like right now?
I know.
It's weird. The discoursening.
I would simply not get my ass kicked by the worst Oklahoma team in my lifetime, but you do you.
Jamie's like, yeah.
Sorry, Jamie.
I was like, can we forget? I still don't know how that happened.
No. I am going to be 100% honest with you guys. I fell asleep during halftime of that game, and I woke up, and the score was the exact same. And I was like, oh, okay.
We're just burst here. That happens.
I was like, whatever. Honestly, when you guys were talking about home field advantage stuff, my first thought is, when do we start getting the discourse around the economic impact that people are going to claim this has on the bowl, like the teams hosting that first round? Because it's coming. You know it's coming.
It generated $765 million for State College, and it may eventually get their airport runway, elongated further. So the SMU people fly in the Williamsport.
Terraform the mountain and move it.
That's right.
I
I
was
mean,
just about to say
Minecraft.
that Penn State already does all the economic impact stuff. That's part of
Yep.
the reason why their schedule is like their non-con schedule is like low-key garbage. They don't want to play home and homes because
Yep.
we gotta do the economic impact for State College. Like, can we
Yeah,
not?
Yeah, if you take a look at Penn State's upcoming out of conference schedule, it's
Oh man.
soft and gooey like the West Virginia secondary.
Woo.
This
Woohoo.
is something else. A theme that we had this weekend was punting that was bad.
Look, man, I want to bring up something here.
Yeah.
I noticed this. Like it's cold, right?
Mhm.
And the balls will rock. It's incredibly hard to punt.
It's
And-
an unpleasant thing to do. I've hit a
No.
cold ball. It fucking hurts.
It hurts. It hurts your foot. It doesn't fly right. The punts in the Notre Dame and Indiana game felt like limited
Garbage.
range. No,
Garbage.
they felt like the limited flight golf balls you'd get at a driving range, where it would hit a certain point and then immediately just drop. Like
Oh,
it can get to a certain height and then it's just dropping straight down. But yeah, I noticed all the punters in the cold weather games were not from America.
Uh-oh.
They were not used to the cold weather.
If we had Americans doing American jobs,
Yes.
this would be fine. But no, we've got immigrants.
Oh my lord.
we got hey, Indiana, a punter from New Zealand.
Not
Right?
even the right country.
Not even the
Indiana,
right country.
how'd you fuck
Hey,
up that badly?
New
Okay,
Zealand
man.
is great.
New
You
Zealand
leave
is
New
awesome.
Zealand alone.
We'll leave them alone. For SMU, Aussie punter. For Notre Dame, Aussie punter. Ohio State, it didn't really matter, but an Aussie punter. Penn State didn't matter either.
Punted.
Aussie
They
punter.
punted once or twice.
Aussie punter for Tennessee. Again, can they not handle the weather, below 0 degrees Celsius? Can they not handle it? Does it not get cold in the southern hemisphere in Australia? I really don't know because
It
I haven't
does.
looked up their weather.
It gets cold.
Does it snow in Australia?
Maybe
I
in like
can't tell you off the
Tasmania.
top.
I don't know.
Maybe in Tasmania, yeah. But these punters are not from Tasmania. They are from Melbourne. Also, I put a picture of James Rendell, Notre Dame punter, because I enjoyed his picture a lot.
There is a Wikipedia article for snow in Australia.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Snow
what
in
does
it say?
Australia is very rare at sea level, but is common in the highlands of the southeast in the states of New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, and the Australian Capital Territory. Snow is rare even in the southernmost capitals like Melbourne and Hobart, falling less than once every other decade. And in the other capitals, it is unknown.
Okay.
So sometimes.
Sometimes you learned.
Okay.
Hmm. Well, James Rendell looks like an extra from Peaky Blinders, so good for him.
They all have this thing. Every Australian punter, he doesn't have the tattoos, but they're all people that worked at paper mills and have like 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden they're like, I don't know, I'm going to college and I'm 31. The Miami punter is the one I always think of, the one with the neck tattoos.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
He got cut by the Saints this year, by the way. So he's
Jamie,
unemployed. He had to move back
Jamie,
to Australia, probably.
how did you feel, Jamie, about the college football first round playoff merch?
It's fugly. I said what I said. I got
blame you.
I got told that I was being, and this is the most blue sky sentence I'm about to say. I got told that because I'm an Alabama fan, and B, because I'm not taking into account of people whose teams do not go to major games that often, that I was being a college football flavor of classist for saying that like I would never buy these shirts. And they were like, this is the one time my team's logo is going to be on playoff merch. And I'm just like, I didn't say don't wear it. I'm a random person on the internet. I'm not sure why you're getting so offended that I said this shirt was ugly.
Ask
It
for
is
better
ugly.
merch. Yeah, get
That's
better
what I'm
merch.
saying. Also, geographically incorrect.
Right. That's my problem
Yeah.
with this shirt.
Right.
Like all the playoff merch is always going to be kind of ugly unless it's made by
Right.
Homefield. Shout out to our friends at Homefield. But the map here, like Penn State, it's not in New Jersey. It's not.
See,
It's really, really not.
but counterpoint, is Penn State taking Delaware back?
Oh,
We're not
I don't
giving
even
this
see
to State
Delaware on
College.
this map. No,
I
State
mean-
College does not get credit for this.
Georgia is in
South
like,
Carolina.
Panhandle of Florida.
yeah, Georgia's at like Rosemary's Beach.
Indiana,
Georgia's
in
They have
Kentucky.
Tennessee and fucking Memphis. Like, what is happening here?
Georgia's at the Floribama
I
in
mean,
Gulf Shores.
Clemson's basically in Hilton Head. Like,
Yeah.
And so what drives me crazy also, what fucking Oregon logo? Why did they allow them to use the UO logo? They never use this. This is the throwback that you see on the helmets every once in a while. This is the wrong logo. Like,
is this against their branding guide?
It is. It literally is. So I have no clue what happened. Also, look very carefully. You can see all the little registered trademarks.
Yeah.
Clemson and Indiana and SMU. Oh, this one drove me crazy. The other one I loved was the flag they had for sale that Chris Vanini showed. The Penn State first round playoff flag that will all be flying. Man, this is like buying a division championship shirt in the NFL. Don't do that, y'all. Like this playoff shirt, if I like this shirt better, I'm all about buying a playoff shirt. You made the playoffs, that's great. But I made the first round of the playoffs. No, let's not do that.
I mean, I think that like someone has to be buying these or else they wouldn't keep making them because this is standard. Like the playoff did not invent this, right?
No.
Like I've been at various NCAA tournament for like other sports. And like I was at an NCAA soccer, I think it was like Elite Eight. So basically the
that's right.
final.
Yeah.
They had shirts there that they were selling that said like, NCAA, men's soccer tournament, like Elite Eight. Like they had a specific shirt for that round. And like, so someone must be buying it because they wouldn't just make these if they didn't. I mean, like I've seen it forever, like first round, second round, third round, like they have it.
I'm glad someone's buying them.
I think that's fine. They just have to not be ugly. Like I have a men's lacrosse 2023 championship shirt and it's like the whole tournament, like every team that made the tournament is listed on it, but it's a nice looking shirt. It's got like the lacrosse stick on it and then all the schools have names around it. Like it's a good looking shirt. Just if you're gonna do this, don't make it ugly.
In the immortal words of one of my favorite films, School of Rock, you're tacky and I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
That having been said, having it be the Penn State first round flag absolutely tracks. I could see practically all of my neighbors flying this particular flag to go along with all of their 409 napkins.
Oy.
Jeez, God. Commish,
Yeah.
we've had an issue here where we've had lots of teams that have decided to go shirtless in the cold. And you've done a little digging. How did this go for them?
Okay, so I've done a couple of things. Like I noticed this happen. The team starts posting social media hype videos before the game, showing that the team that is from the South and they're on the road and they're playing in the cold, that they're not affected by the cold by taking shirtless warm-ups. And I've only found 3 teams so far that have done this, and they have all royally failed. So I'm just gonna state up the first one that I saw, D2 Central Oklahoma, in like whiteout conditions at Ferris State earlier in the playoffs. They did this and they said the cold never bothered them anyway. And they lost
for them.
They lost that game to Ferris State 78-17.
Yeah.
Didn't go well.
Having your nipples rubbed off, really not good for focus.
Not good at all. So then Tulane, they lose to Memphis. Then they got to go up to, West Point to play Army for the American Conference title. And they do this also. They take the shirtless pics, and I'm like, yeah, we could tell you're cold. They do this too, and they lose 35-14.
Mm-hmm.
Then this weekend during the playoffs, Tennessee decides to do this at Columbus. It didn't go well. They lost 42-17. So if you got to prove to yourself that you're not cold, you're probably cold. You're probably going to be cold.
I want to see a team from like the northern part of the country do it like reverse, like, oh, we're going down south, like we're warming up in hoodies and jackets,
playing a parka.
Definitely. You need the team. Let's just say you get like Maine coming down to like FIU for a game, and they're just warming up in like parkas, and their coach is just going to coach the game in a hoodie.
You're going to go down to Miami and play in my puffy coat.
That's all right. Um,
Okay, done. Here, Commish, I got it for you.
yes.
Long Island University opens in Gainesville next year.
Okay.
LIU showing up in like the heavy coats in August in Gainesville.
Wait, hold on. We're gonna get Sharks versus Gators.
Yes.
Ooh. I'm excited.
That's West Side Story shit.
Someone needs to do a sci-fi original movie poster for this game right now.
Put it
in the ideas thread.
I will put it in the
channel.
ideas channel.
Put it in.
I love giving Jordan homework.
We give Jordan homework.
Sorry, Jordan.
I know it's great. This is
every podcast.
What I meant to do. The other one that was fascinating was this whole thing of I'm not cold, I'm not cold, I'm not cold. And you watch the crowd get more and more miserable. It's because there is I'm not cold, but when the game turns, it gets real miserable. Lots of Tennessee orange looking real sad and chilly in like orange balaclavas. I didn't know they made those. I assume they're for hunting.
Yes, they're for hunting, Jordan.
I thought you were like messing with us when you said you didn't know about these, because that's like what I think of. I mean, like black and orange are the only two colors they come in to me.
Yeah, I'm an indoor cat. I don't. Yeah.
I don't know that you needed to tell us that. It's sort of self-evident.
We just kind of assumed.
Listener, if you're looking for good Christmas gifts or holiday gifts in general for Jordan, please send lots of high visibility hunting clothing to our P.O. box.
Jesus.
Jordan, can we recreate the video for Sugar We're Going Down with the high vis? Okay, sorry, I had to get my joke off. Continue.
This is I think we do need to talk about some playoff narratives though, because that's the important thing.
Playoffs.
And I think that the most important thing is that our final is going to be between number 1 and number 2. FCS playoffs were chalky, and we end up with, I think, I am so incredibly excited about North Dakota State, Montana State, because you have two teams that are playing at the absolute lights out top of their division, their conference, and for everyone, I tried to do a thread last night and I was like, hey, here are some great things that happened in college football today, and listed like the good things that happened. So I was trying to get people to get off the fucking discourse. And this 11 a.m. game, the South Dakota State, North Dakota State, the not Dakota Marker game was by far the best game of the day.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah,
it was phenomenal. I didn't really pay attention to SMU and Penn State. Like once it was happening, I was like, I am fully focused at this one. Like once like the third pick six? No, second.
There were
pick
only
six?
2 pick sixes.
Okay, all right. Once the second one happened, I was like, sir, there's a second pick six. I moved over to the FCS game, and I stayed on that the entire time. I had the FCS game and the D3 semi in like it wasn't a quad box. It was like just like the double box, but I had those two going, and I didn't bother to turn back on the other game at all. I was just like, I'm going to watch these two.
Yeah. Oh, we should probably say, by the way, congrats Penn State for winning the volleyball title. I have to mention it here. Sorry. I know.
You didn't have to say that.
Little old Penn State finally coming up.
No, I will say the shout out to their coach, who has a really inspiring story. So good for her. But and that's the nicest thing I'm going to say about Penn State ever.
I want to know who turned on ABC expecting to see an FBS playoff game that was buried on TNT.
Yeah.
And was like, you know what? This just feels like a better use of my time here.
Honestly, the atmosphere was phenomenal. The
Fargo Dome
was great. The commentators were great. The play was awesome. Like hard hitting, like big plays, and then other teams shutting that down. Like you'll break off a big play, and then it's just like that. No, you're not getting any more on that drive, or they'll drive down and do that. But the one-handed catch for the win,
that was
I mean,
wild.
Good shit.
In the corner of the end zone with the 1 foot down, like just fully extended, like one hand, like all the way out. And they initially ruled it incomplete. And then on the replay is like, he totally got 1 foot down. It's just a matter of like, did he like have the ball like in his hand when it was fully extended? And they called it a catch. I know some South Dakota State fans that I mentioned were like, that wasn't a catch. And I'm like, okay, the refs ruled it a catch. I'm sorry. It was awesome. Also, rule of cool. I'm going to have to give you that one there. That was cool. That was really cool. It was an amazing play by Trey Lance's brother.
That's right.
The former, his brother, who's now a wide receiver. Also, a big shout out to the quarterback for North Dakota State. Just like at the end of the game, is just like, I hate them. I hate the Jackrabbits. I can finally say this now. I hate the Jackrabbits. I hate losing to them. I hate everybody. I just like it associated with them. I hate blue. I hate bunnies. I hate everything. He didn't say all of that. He didn't say all of that. But
no, but like
it kind of felt that way.
That's exactly what this should be. This is two teams. You have the young upstarts, which is South Dakota State. You have the traditional big kids in North Dakota State. This game has been an absolute fight back and forth for the last 5-6 years. And that this was a trip to Frisco. You know, this is exactly what this game needs to be.
And ruining a streak.
Right. Well, and so you ruin South Dakota State's streak in the title game. You also early this year ruined South Dakota State in this game. They'd won 5 in a row against North Dakota State, and now we're back to +2 on the other side. Like, which is what is that? Oh, that's so good.
Which means we've moved the mile marker 2 miles north.
2 miles south.
So I'm gonna have to go through and figure out what their record is total.
Yeah,
and I'll do the math, figure out what that line should be, and we'll start from there.
Perfect.
We don't have Winsipedia for FCS.
One day we will achieve the goal of Dakota.
Which way? It'll just be a complete Dakota. We don't know who's going to win it, but eventually,
Dakota.
Uni Dakota.
Mono Dakota.
Mono Dakota. One monogamous Dakota,
as opposed to Cal Poly.
True.
Oh,
that's a different conference. Yes.
And then we go to the other FCS game for more playoff discourse, South Dakota, Montana State. Montana State pulls away, ends up being 31-17.
Yeah.
This game was very close in the first half. Like, it was very punch for punch. South Dakota held up very well against a team that is Montana State and Touchdown Tommy are just real good.
So like Montana State is one of the best rushing offenses in FCS. They average about 306 yards a game rushing, and their two like interior linemen for South Dakota were putting up like an incredible fight in the first half, and it was very difficult for the Bobcats to get anything going. But then in like the second half, they finally broke. I mean, South Dakota, the Yotes like couldn't run the ball at all, except like they like ripped off 2 big runs, and that was like it. Like they couldn't sustain the run, and you know the Bobcats settled in the second half. Had some good defensive stops, big stops in the second half to not make it a 1-possession game a couple of times, and they were able to get the win. First time they're going back to the title game since 2021, which was Touchdown Tommy Malot's first year at Montana State, and they lost to North Dakota State. So he's got a shot at redemption against North Dakota State. The last time that Montana State won the FCS title was in 1984. I think 3 of us were alive for this.
Depends on when it was in 1984.
Okay, so
2
maybe
of us
just
at
myself.
least.
Maybe myself.
No, I was around.
Okay, Beth. Okay.
I may have just been born. Yeah.
Okay, so it's probably just Beth and myself. 1984. I bought a Montana State shirt because I found out who they beat on their way to the title in 1984.
Was it La Tech?
ULM's most hated teams on their way. They beat Arkansas State in the first round, and they defeated Louisiana Tech.
Hell yeah!
In the title game, 19-6. So, your retroactive win back in '84 has you know for beating ULM's rivals. I just bought a T-shirt for Montana State, so I had to do that because thank you for preventing the hated rivals from winning an FCS title. I appreciate that because only we have one.
But none of this shit matters anymore.
No.
This is done. This is the last year that Dakota's get a fucking word in.
Oh, yeah?
Big Sky,
why?
Toast.
Why?
Missouri Valley, you're fucked. Okay?
Oh.
Because the Ivy League is coming to FCS playoffs.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Hey,
Pinkies up, bitches.
my college has one national title. That's one more than Oregon. Just saying.
Okay.
It is also one more than West Virginia.
Exactly.
God damn it.
It was just kind of giving like Muppets Christmas Carol at the beginning when Marley and Jacob.
Statler and Waldorf have
arrived.
Look out, bitch! It's Colgate.
No, this is done. This is done. Hey, Colgate actually just got a great new hire, by the way.
I know.
They hired Sunny Cortland's head coach. It was great.
Yes,
no, this is all bullshit. So I've been so kind to FCS. I'm always like, hey, it's all just like, hey, we're here and we're having. I like all the Dakotas. No, now that I've got skin in this game, we're gonna burn this shit down. Dartmouth national title incoming.
Dartmouth football, notorious power in the Ivy League.
That's right.
Hey,
The Ivy.
Two of the last titles we shared. We shared
whom? Yeah, no, y'all nerds need to figure out who your winner actually is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that.
The
now.
Ivy League.
And then
it
we'll
just means
talk.
something for once.
It does. And
once.
I just can't wait. I'll see all of you Ivy fuckers in Nashville next year.
Oh, okay.
It's in Nashville?
Yeah,
so the next 2 years is Nashville.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going. Okay.
You have to. It's
I don't even care. I don't even care who's playing. Like,
it's in Vandy Stadium. It's going to be in
Oh,
Vandy Stadium.
then yeah, I'm definitely going. Yeah.
Bunch of brown grads going to the Opry.
Yale, the Yale, the Skull and Bone Society on Broad. Yeah.
We got a bunch of pedal pubs full of Yaleys just up.
Oh God, we've got to put a warning out to like local Nashville girls. Like, don't know. Bad down.
Imagine Dartmouth alums drinking on Broad though. We could.
It's the weirdest Harry Potter convention I've ever seen.
Keggy will be there peddling.
I think Dartmouth can hang in New Orleans. I think Dartmouth can hang in Nashville. I think from all the stories you tell us, I think you'd fit in. You know.
Oh, I'm not worried about them hanging. I'm worried about them overtaking.
They probably, those tiki torch. I'm sorry, not tiki torch. The tiki like floats that they have in the Nashville. The river.
That could have gone two very different directions.
Yes, it could have. And I tried to save it. Oh my God.
I was just about to make a joke that Arthur would have had to cut. So
Cornell's about to drag me to hell. But
like imagine Keggy going up and down. So the best part with Keggy is that when Keggy was first introduced, we would all like the little kids would love to come take pictures with Keggy the Keg. And so
perfect.
We had like, it's Mr. Oil Can Man.
Oh my God.
That sounds like a coal miners, like, you know, like local sicko mascot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like during the 40s.
It's Mr. Oil Can Man. Yeah. It sounds like a Macy's parade balloon from like the 1930s. Like, it's Mr. Oil Can Man and the Kaiser.
Sponsored by Pennzoil. Like
But anyways, all my love for FCS, all my like soft, happy stuff done. Now it's real. Now that we have skin in the game for a national title, done.
Oh my God.
I'm excited to see all this happening. This is going to be great. I mean, theoretically, Ivy League is one of the top in the top half of conferences.
I think Franklin Field being filled up for FCS playoff game would be awesome. You
Hell yeah, Twist and Boney, let's go.
Yeah, I mean they throw. I mean that's if they get a home playoff game, Franklin Field, do it. It'd be great.
Yes,
it's gonna be fun.
The Yale Bowl, the biggest game in the Yale Bowl probably since the Super Bowl that was held there.
Yeah, like Harvard Stadium is great too. I know we hate Harvard.
No, they're all great. Actually, Columbia's a shit, but that's fine. Was it Robert Kraft Field? It's bad.
Oh, that just sounds bad.
Oh, I know. There's once again, I'm happy that all my college shit happened before digital cameras were common, because there's a picture of me on top of like the statue of the lion at Columbia.
Same.
And I'm really giving it to that lion.
Yeah, Jordan, what are you doing to the lion?
I'm really giving it to the lion. I won't lie. Coaching carousel news. We spin the wheel. Jake Dickert, you're going to Wake Forest. Congratulations.
That's a weird hire for me. Like from Pullman, Washington to, is there any connection?
I don't think so. I mean, the whole Wake thing is weird. We talked about it last week, but like, it's just weird.
I mean,
it's just weird. I mean, the whole Wake thing is weird. We talked about it last week, but like, it's just weird. I mean, the whole Wake thing is weird. We talked about it last week, but like, it's just weird. I mean, the whole Wake thing is weird. We talked about it last week, but like, it's just weird.
Yeah,
I hope he keeps the slow mesh.
I hope so too.
Then we have from leaving from the same airport to a new job, of course, Coach Ack got on his plane to New Mexico, and Oregon State running backs coach Thomas Ford is now the new coach at Idaho.
Yeah.
We also go ahead.
It's weird that he follows us.
Like I said, we're getting to this spot now where coaches that enjoyed us when they had lesser jobs now have bigger jobs, and they just follow us now. It's a really weird thing.
It's very strange, but completely appreciated.
Well, I mean, Commish.
Yeah.
Once January comes along, a lot more coaches are going to know about us.
Ooh.
We also have, of course, Jacksonville State not hiring Bryant Vincent from ULM. ULM actually ponied up some cash and stopped it.
Yeah, I don't know where we got money from. Maybe from, I don't know, we sold extra Johnny's pizzas.
Wait, was it that vape thing? Did you see that? There was I think it was Jewel. The Jewel Corporation ended up having to do I think, like, let's say Louisiana, like, sued
okay.
them.
So
and
the
a bunch of NIL money. I know Louisiana State got a bunch of the NIL don't vape money, but I saw that ULM was going to get some too.
I saw like the Attorney General for Louisiana was like sponsoring some NIL deals from Louisiana Monroe players.
Yes.
Which
Hell yeah.
I think is illegal. But
do crimes.
Do crimes
Yeah.
and support ULM.
I was like, of all the states to do this, like, well, for a second when you guys were talking about Jewel having NIL money, I was like, ain't no way they have a vape NIL, because that would be that would slap with all the current quarterbacks. But yes, like, of course Louisiana's like, yeah, we got the money. Shut up. Like,
yeah, we got the money. We'll support you. We will get ULM to a bowl game by sponsoring. Was it Podcat? Went to like 3 or 4 pages, and it was just nothing but athletes from ULM.
Yes.
And he's like, there's like 90 pages, but like the first 4 were all ULM athletes.
Hey, girl.
Headline from NOLA.com 15 hours ago. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill uses NIL deals with student athletes for anti-vaping campaign.
Boo.
So yeah, 3-year anti-vaping outreach campaign is starting in January.
Okay. So don't vape. Go Warhawks.
Jacksonville State ends up hiring Auburn's co-DC Charles Kelly, and Sacramento State has hired Brennan Marion, who is OC at UNLV this year. Really good hire for them.
That's a good one. Oh,
yeah, he was
Sac
at
State's
Pitt
gonna be fun.
briefly.
Yes, he was, and at Texas too.
Yeah, the offense is really interesting. There have been a number of rumors going around about, like, not like bad off the field stuff, but just like weird, like sketchy NIL deal stuff with him.
I mean, with UNLV, and then Sac State has a bunch of NIL money. Right? Oh, I don't know if that's true.
No, God, don't.
I don't know. Interesting hire. It's one of those ones where it's like it's a little buyer beware for me, but I'm interested to see how it shakes out.
I was not here last week because I was at the Scooters Coffee Bowl. I had a great time. Y'all, thank you so much for holding it down for me, Pitt Girl especially. Did
you get a selfie with Rich Rod?
I did not. I couldn't find him.
I
did, however, drink 5 coffees. Scooters Coffee, they were selling in the stadium. I was drinking 5 iced coffees.
Every time you posted one, I was like, someone please check on that young man. I'm very concerned for him.
We were doing that mid-episode. Like,
see colors. Episode. It was great.
I got Jordan, are you implying that you're normally colorblind, but caffeine fixes it?
Taste colors, see, listen, hear colors. I did get a picture with the dude holding the Scooters flag, like he was going to plant it. The best part was he went on the field every single time after every score, running around with the fucking Scooters flag. That dude was earning his money.
How do we get that job? I would like to be the Scooters flag waiver next year.
Okay, but
that flag is
for the extra points. We'll do that again. Okay. Girl, I will make you a flag, and you just run out there.
Okay.
Done?
Okay.
Your arms are going to look amazing.
Oh, yeah. I'll be so buff.
Gotta, get the shoulders going.
Matt will love
the extra points pool in the state of Ohio, like, could we get in trouble there with flag?
Oh, for planting the flag?
Oh, God, no. We're not planting it. We're not planting it.
We'll start raising money for my bail at the end when I run out and plant the flag at the 50.
Do you know what I'm still waiting on a team to do against Ohio State? why no one has brought a bunch of the little like cupcake decoration flags and like just planted the shit out of them across the field, because it could be fast, like while the other team's warming up. Please, I'm begging a team to do that solely for the fact that it would be hilarious.
You bring dozens and dozens of them for every football player, and then after they win, they run out and they just like seed the O with tiny little flags.
Yeah. Like, okay, do you guys remember, I'm about to tell you how old I was when I was in high school. You could pretend, but like sporking, when you get sporks and like spork people's yards.
I was just thinking about spork people's yards, yes.
Thank you. Okay.
No, so like you can pretend that you're doing the post game like talk.
Yeah.
And it's like serious with the coach. At the same time, you're just like kneeling and planting little flags in the turf. Okay, I like this. I like this, Jamie. I like this.
The other fun thing I got to do last week was I went to the Texas High School 6-man championship. And that was so incredibly fun because it is like 6-man football is a fucking track meet. Because you have these kids who play both ways. And once you clear, like there's only 6 guys in the field. Once you clear the secondary, you're good. It's done. And so the first game was between 2 teams whose high schools have like 50 kids.
Yes.
And they had everyone there. One of them brought a band. I was shocked.
How many kids were in the band?
It was like it was like 15 kids between the football team, the cheerleaders, and the band. I think that was every kid at the high school.
That was the whole school. Awesome. The whole school.
I was going to say, so this is where I reveal that my high school had 42 graduating people in my class.
Ooh.
Like, yeah. So I'm like, yes, go small schools. Like, good for y'all.
I had 114, but I went to a all boys Catholic school, so that's a little bit different.
This thing is so much fun because 6-man football just feels so differently. Both games ended up being cut off near the half because of the 45-point mercy rule. It's not because these teams, right? Well, so here's the thing. It's not like one of these teams was bad, like worse than the other. It's that 6-man football is a game of attrition. So if you get tired, the points are just going to pile on at that point. There's no way to stop it.
Yeah, it gets out of hand very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the teams, by the way, also dressed out 7th and 8th graders. They didn't play, but it was very obvious who the 7th and 8th graders were because it's like big, tiny little man. Yep. And it's so much fun to watch this thing. The crowd was absolutely thumping. This is at AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, this huge cavernous stadium.
Yeah,
they've had to shrink the field down. And I swear to God that both of those towns have about 400 people. I would guess there were more than 800 people there.
I'm crying at this visual because I'm just picturing it like the football version of It's a Small World.
It's so wild to see this. They used to make this game be played someplace else.
I want to go.
They argued that like this should be this because think about it. AT&T Stadium has that giant fucking television screen, right?
Yes, it's huge.
And these kids from Jayton, Texas, the Jayton Jaybirds won the 1A D2 championship. And
oh my God,
their mascot, by the way, was so good. They have oil money out there, and so
hell yeah.
They're actually a school in Texas, Beth, that gives back money to the state.
Oh wow, okay.
So they have big money, and so their mascot looks real good. It looks like a nicer version of Rowdy the Roadrunner from UTSA.
I was going to ask, is he clothed? Because that feels
yes.
Okay.
He's not naked as a jaybird.
But like this was it was so much fun to be around these folks. I saw more camo than I've seen in a long time. And this was a blast. I love going to this. Is my second year there. This is congrats to all the, there are 12 Texas football state champions the way we set it up. There's 6 divisions. There's 6 classifications. We split each one in half. Congrats to all of them. But the 1A 6-man ball is just such a weird thing that I'm so glad that I got to go see it and share it with people because everyone's just like, the fuck is this sport? I've never seen this before. This looks like football. It looks like Canadian football. Where you're like, I recognize this, but it feels so fundamentally different. I'm not sure it's the same thing.
Is that the mascot there that I just posted in the chat? I'm going to have to send to Jamie a different way.
Yes. No, actually, that seems to be a worse version. I think they got a new one.
Oh, okay. There was a new version. All right. That still looked nice.
It's still a pretty good mascot.
Okay.
Oh, you know what though? He has 2 mouths. He's like Herky.
He's like Herky the Hawkeye.
Oh,
He
I
must
found the new
Logic
one.
dictates that he must have 2 mouths.
Okay.
I just posted in the chat. He's really good.
Okay, this one does not have 2 mouths. He is very good.
Yeah. So this was
Can
great.
you not DM photos? Oh, that's weird. All right.
I don't know.
We're
Okay.
gonna have to just post it from the account with no context whatsoever.
Just post it. Just post it.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
It'll be like a Christmas gift for our followers.
The last thing I'll say before we go to our ad read is Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia's motion for the preliminary injunction that would allow him to play in 2025 has been granted.
Yes!
Perfect.
Because for him only, they've said that his junior college time should not count against his NCAA time. It's
Yeah,
not for everyone.
it's because the NCAA knows that he is destined to once again beat Hugh Freeze's ass.
And the NCAA knows that like this in no way will put them in a terrible position with, future judicial precedent. It should be fine.
Okay, ad read. First off, our food drive, our charity Sickos Give Back drive is still going on. We have raised over $5,500 as of tonight.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you so much for everyone that's donated. We're still on our way to 10K, which we are aiming for on December 31st. If you donate more than $25, check out the thread we have going for it. Send us your contact info and you will get sent a special Sickos Give Back sticker that I personally made. It's holographic.
Jordan, who are we raising money for?
We're raising money for Second Harvest of the Big Bend, which is Tallahassee's largest food bank network. Yeehaw. Check out our link tree on our Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky profiles. Look at our Discord and our Patreon. Patreon's $5 a month. Get access to our Discord. You can come chat with us, talk about whatever you want. We got plenty of stuff coming up for the spring. So even if it's the off season, trust me, we have plenty of ideas of things we want to do. We have our merch store right now. We actually have a discount, 31% off through December 25th with offer code It's Been Busy. It's not going to come in time for Christmas, but take a picture of it and give it to your loved one. Check out our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitch, our Substack, our Sick O Bowls menu part 2 is going up. Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They go the places we refuse to go. And as always, Home Field Apparel for the softest, comfiest collegiate apparel that's official and wonderful. And someone accused me of only ever wearing my Tulane hoodie in the Discord chat because I wore it again this weekend.
It's your favorite.
It is.
At this point, I think that's part of how people figure out who you are at games, too. It's like, I'm the guy in the Tulane hoodie that's at some random event.
I am the guy in the Tulane hoodie. I think the one that I've wore the most to games has been the Big Sky hoodie.
Yeah.
But I went to Big Sky games. So I'm trying to look neutral.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been to like Pocatello, Idaho and Flagstaff, Arizona. Like I've been to those in the Big Sky hoodie, which it fits, but I got Toledo on right now, but
The Tulane hoodie is great because it sticks out so much. That color pops everywhere. So there's never any doubt about who I am. Because if I say I'm in the Tulane hoodie, it pops.
Yeah, they pop, but not as much as the leggings that I wanted you to wear to the brawl.
You should have wore those West Virginia leggings.
Oh, they were great, Jamie. They were the best leggings ever. I chickened out because I was already wearing a Geno Smith jersey.
Oh, okay. Well,
At one point in time, he was wearing the Geno Smith jersey and a Beat West Virginia pin from the Pitt Alumni Association.
Yeah.
I got so many threats. One of Beth's friends straight up threatened me on that one. He's starting to rip it out. It was great. I think the only reason he did it was your dad's jersey.
Speaking of sweatshirts that getting people threats, can we talk about the Ohio State fans fuck Dolly Parton sweatshirt?
Yes.
Oh,
I thought so I thought it was fake. And people started tagging me in it, obviously, because I love Dolly. And I was like, oh, we need this man's address. I went from 0 to 100. I was like,
You're gonna
I
dox
actually
him.
hate this man.
There's a line, right?
This
Doesn't
is a
Dolly
dockable
Parton have-
offense, if there are any.
Doesn't Dolly Parton have a song called Eugene, Oregon?
Yes.
And that's what they play next, right?
Interesting. Interesting.
I will say that I also a third game. Yeah, been to so much football lately. I went to the D2 championship game in McKinney, Texas at McKinney ISD Stadium. I took pictures from all the corners, like CFB campus tours. He and I
Yeah,
are
you
going to hang
did.
out a bunch in the next couple of weeks. We already hung out once. He and I are going to be hang out a lot.
I'm gonna try to get you into the FCS title game if we can pull it off like we did last year.
I mean,
Hi, Big Sky.
I will
Big Sky, please
figure
join
out.
us.
I mean, otherwise, I'll just spend our money to go because I'll do that anyways. That's fine. That's worth me going.
Thank you, patrons.
Yep.
Honestly,
That's what the money's for, right? Like that's
yes.
so.
Welcome to
Now
our business meeting.
I got Don Draper in my head. Like,
I was gonna say, Beth and I both looked at each other, and I was like, "That's what the money is for."
Yes.
yeah, I know. Like Don Draper's like, yeah, you're going. Like, I really want to go to the FCS title game, and Don Draper yelling, "That's what the money is
The
for."
money's for. Chef's kiss.
With Credit Karma, finding the right credit card for you is easy. Our app analyzes user profiles to suggest personalized recommendations. Visit creditkarma.com today to explore cards tailored to your needs. Credit Karma, simplifying your financial choices.
Did you know that you can make your life-saving donation to Doctors Without Borders go even further? Whether you donate stock, recommend a grant through your donor-advised fund, or make an IRA-qualified charitable distribution, you can take advantage of strong market performance this year to maximize your charitable impact, making it possible for Doctors Without Borders to stay ready to respond in more than 70 countries around the world. Together, we go further. Explore ways to give at doctorswithoutborders.org/podcast.
Forget one-size-fits-all diets. With Noom, you get a personalized weight loss plan that's tailored to your lifestyle. Have cravings? Food FOMO? Noom can help you lose weight while still enjoying your favorite foods. Noom's users love the flexible approach, blending psychology and biology to help you lose weight in a way that's sustainable for you. Plus, you can rest assured Noom's approach is grounded in science. They've published more than 30 peer-reviewed scientific articles describing their methods and effectiveness. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com.
This game was a bit of a one-sided romp. Ferris State absolutely laid it on Valdosta State. I got to hang out with some of the fans in the parking lot. That was great. It was a sort of chilly day for North Texas. I ended up, because the way this stadium is built, not surprising, the home side is in the shade.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
yes.
In
Texas.
For Texas, that's a brilliant thing to do, right?
In August, you want to be in the shade, yes.
Now, however, in December, you get in the shade and it's very cold.
Yes.
I did bail on this one early because I had to get back to help my wife and kid pack for something. So I had to bail early, but this was very.
I had to go see the bad boy mowers at SeaWorld, so it's fine.
Yeah, I had to come back. I will say that this is my local ISD stadium, McKinney ISD Stadium. It was built with my tax money. I kind of like it that way. I will say this, though. It is not the nicest stadium in my county. This stadium only seats 12,000. And that's nice. But Allen High School Stadium seats, I want to say, let me find the number here, 18.
Ooh.
And it's about a mile away from this one.
Okay.
So it's not even the nicest stadium in the county, which, okay, sure.
Man, it's still good, though.
People were pointing out that it says something that basically in Texas, we host the D2 title game in a high school stadium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Texas high
It's not
schools.
a knock.
Have you
That's not a knock.
considered doing slightly less?
No.
You can't, because now other cities in this county have built other giant stadiums. This is just what we do now. My county especially.
It's keeping up with the Jerry Joneses.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Frisco ISD literally uses the Star, which is Jerry Jones's indoor practice field. They also use FC Dallas Stadium, where the Scooters Coffee Bowl was.
And the FCS title game.
Yeah.
I mean, using existing stadiums makes sense. My high school plays in Millersville University Stadium, so
That's fine.
I want to thank Jordan for letting me test the theory of all band directors know each other.
Oh, because Beth sent me a message being like, "Hey, go talk to Ferris's state band director. I know him. He taught at St. Francis." And so I went over. I was like, "You don't know me, but you know Beth from Pennsylvania." And he goes, "I know Beth." And then I had to answer how I know Beth. And then
Internet.
what's Beth up to?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm so glad you asked.
I think what we've learned this season is all roads go through Loretto, Pennsylvania.
That's
I
right.
know.
Go
Good
St.
God.
Francis.
So this was great. Both bands were there, which was awesome. Valdosta State did a halftime show, even
Nice.
better.
Ooh.
And this was great. Ferris State, congratulations, you super scary.
I think you tweeted that like Ferris State took it to the house again, 14-0. And then on Blue Sky we had Cookie Monster chime in. Me love Ferris State.
I need to get rid of this guy. He's
cookies.
overwhelming.
And
fame.
cookies. It's too much. So Cookie Monster, which I think we had Bugs Bunny in our mentions also. Like like Blue Sky's getting the fake parody account phase out of their way really quickly. After I think Ohio State went up 21-0. We had Bugs Bunny in our mentions that said that's all, folks. So just
Yeah,
like,
that's good. That's good.
I
God
just
damn.
feel like it's all catching up. Like, I think someone today said like 15 years after the fact. Like, I feel like we're speed running that early phase of Twitter.
We're speed running early Twitter.
I had a crypto bot in one of my replies the other day.
Okay,
I did
all
too.
right.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
We're getting
A
there.
Forex trader. That's how you know we're hitting it
yeah.
off.
Uh-huh.
No.
Blue Sky's got the juice.
I'm
does.
looking at the Cookie Monster account.
Yeah.
I must admit to being extremely amused by their skeet so far being a Cookie Monster gif at sickoscommittee.org. Me would like to join. And me Christmas list, and then cookies like 57 million times. Oh, and if you open it, it says Sickos Committee membership towards the bottom.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's just,
someone is being a little weird with this one. I'm not going to lie.
yeah,
That's a
no,
little-
just like
Uh-huh.
the
It's a
account is
little
ridiculous.
bit weird, but it's also funny.
It was funny, but I was like, okay, like I'm not following you. But it's just like I'm not gonna do it. But it's just like me love Ferris State.
Please, Sicko Senpais,
Blah,
notice.
blah, blah, blah.
We had 2 Division III semifinals as well. Mount Union beats Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins gives them a fucking run for their money. This was also a great
Yeah, they
game.
do.
This was a
Yeah, they
great
did.
game. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Mount Union gets that one stop, and then they get the score, and then like Johns Hopkins is just chasing them to try to even it up, and they just could not make a stop on the Purple Raiders. And Mount Union heading to the D3 title game.
So this is something that our good friend CFP Campus Stores convinced me to do. Because
Okay.
Commish, do you know where the Stag Bowl is this year?
No, is it Houston?
It's in Houston.
Okay.
Ooh.
So right
So Stag
now,
Bowl is the D3 title game named after Amos Alonzo Stagg, if you're not familiar. But
so
yeah.
so here's where I'm at though. I can
Okay.
do the Mayo Bowl on the 3rd,
Okay.
the Stag Bowl on the 5th, and the FCS title game on the 6th.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's
So
a
ooh.
good one. Do you know what
That's tough.
CFP Campus Tours is going to slide in between? He's doing all those
Okay.
games, but there's a bowl game on the 4th.
Is that
Ooh.
Bahamas?
He's going to go from the
Oh,
First
no.
Responder Bowl in Dallas,
Okay.
which is the early game on the Friday.
Yeah.
He's going to fly to Miami,
Okay.
get on an overnight flight to the Bahamas, be in the Bahamas for approximately 12 hours,
Yeah.
and then
Oh
get
my
back
God.
to Houston for the Stag Bowl, and then
When-
to the FCS
when
title
is the-
game.
When is the Stag Bowl? Is it a Sunday?
Yes, it is.
Oh man, why couldn't it be a Saturday?
I know. So the other FCS, the other D3 semifinal game, Susquehanna North Central. North Central was up, I believe, 49-0 at the half.
So I was telling Pitt Girl last podcast. I was like, Susquehanna is going to need some help here. This is going to be a really tough game. And Pitt Girl said that maybe we needed some Pennsylvania bullshit for Susquehanna to win. Well, sometimes you get caught on your bullshit and you lose 66-0.
Yeah. Pennsylvania bullshit works 60% of the time every time.
Okay.
Sad
I mean,
Commonwealth noises.
This is just clearly that Susquehanna didn't deserve to be in the playoff. I'm just saying, make it to the semifinal, but
I mean,
you can beat, checking notes here, Hobart College, St. John's University, and Bethel, but if you can't beat North Central,
Do you remember how they got to this point in the playoffs?
Patented
Yeah, some real
Pennsylvania
bullshit.
bullshit.
Some real bullshit.
Shit.
Yes,
Oh,
the Bethel
I-
holding. We did a video for that on because that was the craziest ending we had for D3. That was
by the way,
insane.
Pitt Girl, you'll appreciate this. I did see folks at the D2 title game wearing slippery rock gear.
Yes.
Oh my
someone
god.
had pulled that trigger a little early. Also talked to a dude from Montana State.
Nice.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he was a local. A lot of folks were like local dudes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, I thought that was very funny.
Where is the Stag Bowl being played?
At the Dynamo Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Chris
let's.
has his logistics face on.
So
I
I'm,
don't have a-
I'm like, can I do 3 hours there and 3 hours back in the same day?
You can. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Check the time.
I got to see what the other half says, so it's fine.
We don't have a ton to talk about the other bowl games. I'll mention them quickly. Boca
Yeah.
Raton Bowl, JMU beats Western Kentucky, LA Bowl, UNLV beats Cal. This game was a lot of fun. UNLV really gave them hell. Cal was down a lot of folks, including Fernando Mendoza. So
Did we get like a lot of Cal was down there like their third string quarterback, right?
yeah, I mean they were down to everything. Like
Did we get a lot of like Gronk antics on the sideline? Because I feel like we didn't.
We didn't. We had a couple of interviews, but that was about it. I don't know. It felt subdued. I'm not sure why.
It's a more mature Gronk.
Mm.
This is a Gronk in sort of the later stage of Gronk's bowl hosting career. He's learned a lot. He's matured as a person. He's really
Yeah.
developed,
I don't think he tried to sing the national anthem this year.
which is a shame.
Late stage Gronkism.
Talk to your
They
doctor.
can't cure that. Yeah, can't cure that. Late stage Gronk.
Somebody you know.
We're gonna have.
Now
to
you have like a Gronk commercial. He's doing all the activities.
Oh.
Just
Like a medical commercial. Yes, yes. Ask your
Try-
doctor if Gronkism is getting in the way of your everyday activities.
Do you have low Gronk?
you have low Gronk.
That's what the Gronk cruise is
Try-
for, Beth.
Try Gronk Rizzy. Is Gronk Rizzy right for you?
Gronk Cruise is the most cursed fucking. Oh my god!
It was a thing. It was a thing.
It was a thing.
You have to get tested before and after you leave the Gronk Cruise. I'm not even sure for what.
Bats.
Everything.
Everything.
Bloodborne pathogen, rabies.
Everything.
I
Everything.
feel like we could have a cruise.
No, I'm not doing a cruise.
God, someone once
Whoa.
suggested that we try a Bahamas cruise.
Yeah, somebody
Wait.
sent us.
A Bahamas cruise for the Bahamas Bowl would kind of slap with the
It-
right
it
group
would.
of people, but
It was like a Sickos Committee cruise to the Bahamas Bowl, which was just like, and then like they laid out like 4 days of itinerary, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is just
Like,
too much. Like they
given-
sent us an email with this.
I want
did
you
the
to
work for
imagine. I want you to imagine. So
He's
the
a
biggest
travel
thing
agent.
that people think of about cruise ships, other than like I'm going to go and get sunburned and drink, way too many things with umbrellas on it, is I'm going to get norovirus. You're
Yes.
going to advertise something called the Sickos Committee Cruise.
Yes.
Like we're going to get stuck in port by the CDC just on naming.
Yes.
no, the people who do the cruises for like swingers are going to be like, damn, we're getting one upped. Like they're going to be so confused.
Yeah,
Oh God. Imagine
this
the
is
cost.
the hedonism cruise is gonna try to sue us. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Getting sued by Hito is my new life goal.
Beth, I know you've never performed on a cruise ship before, or have you? I actually don't know.
I haven't. No, I know
No,
people who
this
have,
is-
but I haven't.
Same
Same.
here. But you and I could absolutely, if we're doing a 2-night cruise to Bahamas, we're the dinner show.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Oh
I
my
will play the
God.
triangle.
I'll get my basuna. Hell yeah.
The only cruise I've ever been on, I won karaoke one night and got like, $50 cruise cash or whatever that you have to use on board.
Fantastic. We have a vocalist. Let's go.
Okay, we could totally do like fake currency. It's
Oh, yeah.
international waters. Everything goes.
Sicko bucks.
Hey, if Hawk Tua girl came back so
the
sad,
coin.
being like,
Yeah.
now she's like, I am so sorry for all this. I'll be real open.
Here's
If
a
we
look.
ever do crypto, it's an absolute scam, people. Just so we're clear, I'm absolutely trying to scam you.
No, I want it to be like printed off actual Monopoly money, like in a coupon book. I want to be
that'd
able
be
to.
fun.
I want to be able to make
they
it
got
rain with sicko bucks.
Yes.
And they got the guy
Yes.
on them. They're like the
Yeah,
ones.
Yeah,
They're like
the
the
guy,
guy,
yeah.
the guy in the middle.
Right.
All right, I'll go
Yeah.
put it in the document.
Yeah.
Jordan gets her
Commish?
homework.
I
Yeah.
didn't know
I
you were
need
getting
you to
creative
tell me-
director tonight.
Oh my god.
That's all the time. This is
I'm
Commish,
spelling
tell me
bucks
how-
with an X.
Obviously.
Yes.
Commish, did your dad have a good time at the New Orleans Bowl?
My dad stayed the entire game for the New Orleans Bowl.
Perfect.
And I can't believe he did, because when he took me to the Super Bowl, he like left early, like at a Super Bowl. Like he was walking out of the stands as Tracy Porter was intercepting Peyton Manning. Like he was walking down the stairs. Like he knew it was going to happen. Like he called the shot. Like, here you go, son. Like Tracy Porter's taking this pick to the house and the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. He's walking out of the stands, but he stayed the entire time.
Was he worried about parking?
So first text that I get from him, he wasn't worried about traffic because he said maybe about 5,000 in the Superdome. And he said it gave him like Tulane playing in the Superdome vibes for the bowl game itself. And then he started giving me like play-by-play texts.
I love your dad.
Like
My dad does this to me too, as if I'm not watching the exact same game as him.
Yep.
Sorry,
I'm watching the game, and he was like, I was like, I told him in advance, I was like, I want some text. Give me some text. So he's like, Bearcats take opening kickoff for a short return on their 10 first down running plays, series 3 and out to punt to GS. Like he couldn't even type out Georgia Southern. It was just GS.
Perfect.
On their first play, pick 6 for K's instead of cats.
Oh my God. He was giving you the like people that sit at the baseball game and use the book, like the box score books.
I had to do that on my team because I was not good enough to start for the varsity team. So I was the one with the book.
I'm sorry to bring up a hurtful memory.
No, it's okay.
I do that for fun because the gifted program.
I would do it at the game.
I was gonna say,
I was freshman and sophomore on the varsity team, like JV team, like you're not going to be playing, and so it's like, hey, make yourself useful. So I would keep score.
Much respect to people who keep score. It's important.
I was a pinch runner. That was basically it. Like on the until I got older and I actually played. So he's telling me all this stuff. The only problem with my dad giving me all these text updates, he's giving me like these text updates throughout the game, and he's like, Bearcats rolling, like Georgia Southern marching, then incomplete, field goal good. It's 21-10 at half. The Bearcats lead. Then at halftime, he's sending me audio messages that I don't think he realizes he's sending them, and it's like the band halftime show.
sure.
So you can kind of, I don't know if you can hear it or not, if you can see just like how long this audio message is.
I can see that it
It's
exists.
a minute
It's the
and
whole
9
show.
seconds. It's just like all right here. Like, it's just a minute 9. And so the audio messages become more frequent throughout the end of the game. So he's giving me an update, and it's like 21-19, Georgia Southern's making a comeback. And then I get another audio message. It's Flow Riders in the air. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I mean, oh, hold on. That's the band. Let me see here. Hold on. Let's see if we can get this one.
Oh my God.
It's like in the air. Yeah. It's just like he stayed the whole game. He got home at like 11 p.m. He enjoyed the whole thing. And the Bearcats won. Also, shout out to my kiddo's teacher, Sam Houston grad. At the Christmas party the next day, we talked about the New Orleans Bowl. And I witnessed somebody throw up Christmas peeps.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. It was green.
You say somebody like it was not, I presume,
It was not
a small
A
child.
child.
It was a child.
Okay.
It was not at 9:30 in the morning. They were eating Christmas peeps. And
Teachers
as
just
soon as
going
that,
a little too hard.
I
as soon
love
as that happened-
the idea of observing a grown ass adult.
no, no, it was a second grader throwing up, and then I was like, I'm gonna check my son out now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good call.
Checking him out. He's getting out of there. It's like,
Ohio beats Jacksonville State in the Cure Bowl 30-27. This is the interim coach bowl.
Yes.
Ohio has named the interim as their permanent coach, so this was good for them. Parker Navarro, Timothy Chalamet's favorite.
Yes, Tim Chalamet's Parker Navarro, 3 rushing touchdowns, one passing touchdown. Also, I want to give a shout out to the guy, the linebacker Blake Leak. He's been playing with a club hand for like 6 weeks, and he had an interception with the club hand.
This picture, I love this screen cap so much.
It's so great.
Oh,
It's
God.
so great.
Listener, this is a screenshot, I assume from shortly after he made the interception.
Yes.
Where he's just standing there pointing at his own club hand. So proud.
Oh,
Like, look,
he's like,
I got an
firmly
interception.
grasp it. Like, he's so serious about it.
Oh God.
It's so great.
The Gasparilla Bowl did not go well for
Thank you.
Tulane. Florida fucking bodied them. Although I will say this, for the first half, no one could do anything.
Now, Florida got 2 field goals. Tulane missed a field goal. I love that they put the treasure map in the end zone and nobody could find it.
Does X mark the spot or not, guys?
I mean, you know, some people have trouble finding spots, and they were struggling in the first half.
The best part about this one was Florida puts in Desmond Watson, who is 450 pounds, 6'5".
Yes.
Hands him the ball.
Mhm.
Literal
Yes!
big man football.
This was I love this because there's a shot, a still image of one of the Tulane guys just making a business decision. Seeing this guy come and being like, you know what? I'm not making this choice.
I do not wish to die today, so I will be letting the very large man go about his business.
To be fair, it was an RPO. So he had the quarterback, but still, you see that man get the ball, you're probably like, yeah.
No,
There's
I'm
some
out.
doubt. And it was probably the most electric 1-yard run of all time.
Yep.
And he got the first down. Tulane's backup quarterback, Ty Thompson, had
Bad day. It was a bad day.
really bad day. I think it was like 11 for 29 with
Oof.
3 INTs. I'm just happy that Tulane didn't get shut out. You know, Tulane hit like a really bad stretch at the end of the year, lost 3 straight. You know, again, they made the American Conference title game. Still, they were rolling, so maybe they'll get back on track next year. But yeah, this was not a close game, so I don't think Tulane should have been in the Gasparilla Bowl. We had to replace them.
We've already talked about
ULM,
a bunch of
yes.
playoff stuff, the bunch of playoff stuff. I do want to mention a couple things. We said it earlier as a joke, but truthfully, a bunch of SMU private jets got diverted to Williamsport.
Yes, they
So
did.
fucking funny.
It was.
listen,
It was hilarious.
So funny.
They should be thrilled that they got to get excellent seats for the Little League World Series several months early.
In the winter, yes.
The SMU corner, first off, they put the SMU band, which is already kind of a tiny band, up in the fucking tight, like top corner
That's
of
where they made me sit during the WVU Penn State game. I wonder if the bathrooms still cave in.
I bet you that the Matthews tried to kill them.
Maybe.
This is just hilarious. Watching a bunch of $1 billion SMU boosters riding a party bus to Happy Valley.
So many sad frozen dentists in Happy Valley on Saturday.
By the time they got there, they were down, like there had already been 2 pick sixes. Just like,
I know. Can you imagine listening to that and being like, I'm driving towards this?
Right.
yeah, it's like turn around.
Go,
around,
yeah,
don't
turn
drown.
back now.
No, they
let's
were
go
they were
down.
mentally prepared for how much cocaine they were going to have to do.
It's true.
That's
I mean,
God.
yeah. I saw a screen cap of a couple of tweets from someone who like knew someone who was there, who was like, it's cold, we're getting our asses kicked, all of this, and the worst part is that these people are so fucking nice. And I just want to know which Penn State fans they were sitting next to.
I think it was probably the Penn State fans that were just like, we are killing you, and I'm just happy at this time.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
there's
that's
another way
it's easy.
around.
It's easy to be happy. The best part is though, every Penn State fan I know is still saying, "Well, this doesn't count as a big game. This doesn't count towards James Franklin's big game."
No,
Yeah, and next week, and the next one doesn't count either because they're only playing Boise State.
this
I know.
this
That's
reminds
the
me of
best part. They just can't fucking win this.
This reminds me of the okay. I'm probably dating myself here, but I'm the oldest one on the podcast. Whatever. It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where he tries to cash in a dinner, and he only decides to have soup.
Yes.
And it was like, soup is not a meal, so this doesn't count as dinner. And this is what James Franklin, beating SMU in the playoff. And Penn State fans are like, no, this is just SMU in the playoff at home. It doesn't count. SMU is not a meal. We need, SMU is not a meal. Horses turn into glue apparently, and that's not a meal. So again, and then they got to play another horse, so that doesn't count. That's not a meal. Just
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Again, double horses doesn't count. Not a meal. You have to beat some. Some. You need a top 5 team. It doesn't count. James Franklin, I gave you an Armani suit. I am.
This is
Come on.
Come on.
The other best part was watching these teams who had just won a playoff game get invited to the next bowl game. Like,
this sport is so unserious.
It's very much like when you would have to give everyone in elementary school class a Valentine, like that's the energy of all of these. Like they're getting handed these footballs that are signed and, whatever by the bowl executive. And it's just like, oh, it was for his feelings. Go for him. Like he's included.
But by the way, can I say that I am actually convinced though that after this weekend, we need to carve out 2 extra bowl games for the teams that lose in the first round, because I feel like they should get one more shot at something fun.
Yeah. Let's
it does suck to feel like you're just going down and out. Like,
let's send them to Turks and Caicos or something. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll have another nice nice offshore bowl game, not the Bahamas Bowl. We'll just send them there. It's all good.
Just
Dubai
one
Bowl,
bowl
baby.
game on one bowl game on every island territory that the U.S. owns.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Congratulations. The USVI Bowl is a thing now.
USVI Bowl.
Yeah.
Congrats. It's the Gitmo Bowl.
Puerto Rico Bowl.
Oh my god.
Gitmo has a football field, I believe.
Oh God! Don't do
Maybe
that.
this is when we test the theory about how you can technically, if you try really hard, fit a football field on the deck of an aircraft carrier.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can put up the walls really high, right?
Yeah.
It's like arena college football on an aircraft carrier.
Jordan, I feel like the Gitmo Bowl would have to be between the 2 most cop teams in the country. So I'm
Notre
letting
Dame,
people think about
Michigan?
it.
Yeah, Notre Dame,
I was going
Michigan.
to say Ohio State, Texas A&M, but that too.
Also works.
I was about to say Notre Dame and Texas A&M already played this year.
Perfect.
Sure, they did.
Me and Commish are on the same brainwave. It's all
There
good.
we go. We got it.
Well, we only really have 5 bowl games to prep for this week. So
Yes.
we'll do that now. The 5 bowl games we're going to cover are going through the new year. And that includes Music City, the Reliaquest, nay Outback, the Sun, the Citrus, and the Texas. We'll start with the Music City Bowl. This is on New Year's Eve. And it is Iowa versus Missouri, 2 teams that feel like they should have had a better season this year.
I feel like Mizzou did, kind of.
Yeah, but not as good as last year.
They dropped like 1 game too many. Like if they would have beat South Carolina, I guess.
Oh, a whole different vibe. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they would have won the Mayor's Cup.
I'm on record for saying I'm glad Alabama didn't have to play South Carolina this year. Like
No,
I've said
they were
that
just-
multiple times.
This is a correct opinion.
This is the bowl game, of course, that Maryland fucking palindromed Auburn last year in this one.
Yes.
Which was nice.
I feel like Iowa's been in this one recently too, as well. I think in the last couple years.
Iowa does come to this bowl game frequently. They do go to Nashville a good bit. They played Kentucky here, I think, and they won 21-0.
Yes, I remember that game.
Yeah, that was because like Kentucky had like their backup quarterback and they couldn't do anything, and Iowa really couldn't do anything either. And there was more punt yards than offensive yards.
Yeah, I remember that.
Iowa's 2022 Sickos national championship season. Yes, Brian Ferentz masterpiece. I think the biggest play was like a tight end run in that game,
That feels
Yeah,
correct.
that sounds
or a
right.
pass. I don't know. A
That's
pass to a tight end?
spiritually correct.
It seems
even if
right. A
it's
tight
not.
end was involved.
Anyone
But
have any
yeah.
big feelings about the Music City Bowl?
No.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at too.
I feel like Iowa's going to be down to like their 5th string quarterback, Jackson
Yeah,
Stratton.
Sure.
This actually sort of weirdly pulls me back in.
And so
Okay.
Jackson Stratton is the transfer from Colorado State who didn't play at all really for Colorado State. And he played, was he the QB that beat Nebraska 13-10?
I believe so.
I think so. So yeah, he was the QB on that game. That game is Mizzou's favored by 3. Iowa's 8-4. Mizzou's 9-3. They're 19th ranked. The over/under is 40.5. Yeah, I kind of think Mizzou should probably win this game, but they're both black and yellow. I mean,
black and yellow.
yeah, there's a lot of black and yellow here. Yeah, Jackson Stratton, his passing line in the 13-10 win over Nebraska, he was 8 for 15 for 115 yards and 1 touchdown.
So,
Hey, that's all you need.
how many times do you think these two teams have played each other?
Iowa, Missouri.
Yep.
They touch each other, right? State-wise?
Or close. Like, this is either going to be like twice or 200. And I'm going to say that it is on the high side. They've probably played like 80 times.
Okay. What do you think, Commish?
This feels like one where they played a bunch and then they just stopped. I feel like it's maybe like they played I'll say 25 times.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, what do you think? Or were you?
I'm going to say like same energy as Commish, but played a little bit more frequently. We're going to say 40.
Okay. Jamie, what do you think?
I'm like, I feel like on The Price is Right when the person leans in and they're like $1, Bob. I'm gonna say like 4 or 5. I feel like it's
you're right.
low.
Yeah,
So-
correct.
So they have played 13 times, but that's not
Okay.
what's interesting. What's
That's
interesting is that 12 of those 13 times are 1910 or further, or like further in the past. They played it
Before the
1890.
miracle of travel,
Yep.
they were like, well, yes, we're gonna play
So
football
here's
games.
They're just
So
walking.
They took a break.
Yes.
Listen to the break that they took. They did 1890. They played every year between 1892 and 1896. Then every year from 1902 to 1910. Then they played again 100 years later in 2010.
Okay, they took off the
Jesus
World
Christ.
Wars. Noted.
Yep.
And the Cold War, and the Korean War, and the Vietnam War,
right.
and the War on Terror.
They were respecting the troops, Jordan. What can I say?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yep. Mizzou leads the series 7-6.
That
Sure.
could be the final score in this game.
The forward pass hadn't been invented yet. Use that.
That could be the final score, 7-6. They touch each other like the stage. They border each other. What the hell?
They do, yes. Like very much so. Like
Like
they're just stacked right on top of each other.
yes. What the? Only 13 times?
Flapjack.
Columbia, Missouri.
And of course, they played Iowa State like 100 times.
Naturally.
Okay, so then we go on to Saturday morning, the 31st. No, this is
Wait,
Tuesday morning.
you gotta spin the wheel, man.
Oh, I gotta spin the wheel. My bad.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Listen, it's been a long season. We're forgetting our own bits.
It's okay.
Have we ever remembered our own bits?
Absolutely not.
I try.
We need a mascot for this bowl game, the Music City Bowl. Is it
Why
like
is
a
it
giant
not a-
music note?
I was gonna say, why is it not a giant music note or like a sexy saxophone or something? Like
It's a gigantic automaton.
perfect.
Oh, God. Hey, Beth, do you have an automaton?
Yeah, yeah, I do. It's
Okay.
It's over here.
All right.
Oh,
I'm
you're
gonna,
fine. You're
I'm
fine.
gonna,
I don't need it now.
No, go
gonna-
get it. Go get it.
I want to hear it because I like them.
Probably doesn't have batteries. Let me look.
okay.
No.
Go check it out. Let's see. I'm gonna differ with you on the mascot. I want the people that they interview for the Titans schedule. And
the
like,
ones
you
that
know,
are like,
what logo is
logo
this? Yes.
Oh,
I want
yes.
just to pick one random person that they interview, and that's the mascot for this bowl game.
Perfect.
Like, tell me the teams who have played in this bowl game and what they're like. What is the logo for this team? And then it's like, it's the Hawkeyes logo, and they just say something ridiculous like,
Sure.
and then like this looks like a Japanese cat, something from Sanrio. That's a Missouri Tiger.
Oh my God.
But
If there was a Sanrio Bowl, y'all would have to pry me out of the seats.
Oh, that would be so good.
I'm a Hello Kitty girl through and through.
How do we not have a Hello Kitty Bowl? How have we not done that yet?
I mean,
oh my God. Beth's Amatone's like teal.
These two teams do have a lot of Bats Maru colors. So
yes,
Yes.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
That's
I was
right.
like I need to, you know how they'll make different mascots race each other at MLB games?
Yes.
I want to see all the Sanrio characters racing each other.
Totally.
Is Gudetama
Kuropi's gonna-
Sanrio too? Like, I'm just imagining the egg like flapping along.
It's not, but it's the
Kuropi's
same
gonna dust them
family.
all. That's fine.
Yes.
The frog is going all the way.
Now we're going to one of the most important bowls. They've said this. The Reliaquest Bowl, nay Outback Bowl, which is hosting Alabama versus Michigan.
Oh.
This game is going to send football back to the Stone Age.
I will be in the Mountain Time Zone for this game, so I get to
Ooh.
get my day. I get my day started off on a hopefully high note. If nothing else, it'll be crazy.
Ooh, a 9 a.m. Outback Bowl. I don't know. That feels weird.
Listen, I'm already mad that it's not the Outback Bowl anymore. I was like, what
Okay.
the hell is Reliaquest?
I mean, you don't even get a free appetizer. This is some bullshit.
Yes.
We don't even get like 0.5% off on our mortgage or some shit. There's no deal for the winning team.
Is that what Reliaquest is?
I guess.
they're a
Or is it
mortgage company.
cybersecurity? Do we get like
I
a
thought they
year
were mortgage.
of
They sound like
cybersecurity?
car insurance.
We get like Norton antivirus for like a year off, and then it'll remind you to renew along with WinZip.
Reliaquest makes security. Oh God.
It is
so the tagline
cybersecurity,
is
isn't it?
make security possible, and you open it and it's introducing the first AI agent for security
God.
operations.
No.
To help
Go to hell.
organizations combat threats and move faster.
They
Reliaquest
should let
has built an AI
call the
agent
plays for
within
this
its
game.
gray matter technology
Now,
that empowers security teams to respond within minutes without sacrificing visibility. Read the white paper.
no,
No.
I will not. Apparently they have bowl game money though, and not a bad bowl game money. Like this
Oh,
is
you have to give them your email to get the white paper. I will
Oh,
not. be
That's
doing that.
no.
Not doing it. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a horrible game necessarily, but I also
No,
said
yeah,
that about
it's gonna be
two
fun.
other games in our season so far. So,
It'll be
I
fun.
will.
this feels like a very comfortable Alabama win just because I do not trust Michigan.
Well, and Michigan is missing Will Johnson and Mason Graham, right? So, like, they're great, but we're also got a lot of players who are opting out of this game to protect their, their draft stock, and then some players who are going to the transfer portal. So I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I will say I want us to win, obviously, naturally, but yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen in this bowl game, but typically, Michigan doesn't necessarily do well in the Outback Reliaquest Bowl. The only thing that I really
Yeah.
remember about them is the Jadeveon Clowney hit.
Yes.
Gentlemen losing their helmet. But I don't know. Michigan doesn't necessarily have a great time in Tampa. From history, from what I could tell, which I'm sure, our Michigan fans that listen to this will definitely at us and reply with the history.
Someone will let you know.
They
Trust
will
me.
they're gonna let us know. But yeah, it's gonna be a fine game. It's gonna be a bowl game. That's
Bama
what it
still
is.
has Milroe and Malachi Moore. Like, they're playing. So I feel pretty comfortable with our offense. I don't know what we've been doing this whole season where we've become Kalen DeBoer's school for kids who can't tackle and want to learn how to do other stuff good too.
Yeah.
And that's not the first time I've made this joke. I said it the last 2-3 seasons when Saban was still, head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know what has happened in the last 4 or 5 years, but anyone born after 1995 does not know how to wrap up a tackle, and it's actually starting to drive me insane a little bit. That's my soapbox, you guys. Like,
Yeah,
I need
you're
people to wrap
turning into
tackles.
us.
So you're telling
Tackle
me
him.
that there's still a chance that I could become a good tackler.
Yes. Yes,
There is
I will-
still hope for Pitt Girl.
there is.
Wrap up, Pitt Girl.
I've been very disappointed with some of our various defensive positions that are not the line. I don't know what's going on some of the plays, because I'll go back. I'm a sicko in the sense that I'll go back and watch tape as if I'm preparing for the next game. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, what
Break
are we
down-
down here?
Break down the
Yeah.
all 22, Jamie. Go right ahead.
Listen, it's my version, I guess, of being a sicko. I say all the time that, I could never coach college football, but I feel like I could do pretty good as like an offensive coordinator assistant, like the assistant to the assistant manager or whatever.
Mhm.
Arthur, you could have said that one out loud.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm young and I'm struggling to wrap up Christmas presents.
Christmas presents.
Look, man, I have never learned how to wrap in my life. I have resorted to the bag.
Mhm.
Just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay with the bag.
Yes.
The bag, and I'm gonna throw like a bunch of tissue paper in there as much as possible. I have resorted to the bag. Maybe that's what happened to Alabama. They're tired of wrapping up.
Just throwing everything into
Just
a
throwing
bag,
everything
it's
in the
fine.
bag.
Am I the only one on this podcast who enjoys wrapping Christmas presents?
No, I
No,
really
I do it.
Okay.
I would enjoy it, but I can't figure it out. Like I can't do it.
I mean, it's not that I can't wrap Christmas presents. I've just been like out of town for a week, so like it's piled up,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
The wheel on this one gave us that we're moving this game to the nearest NASCAR track. I believe that's Daytona.
Is that
Yes.
Daytona, Arthur?
I believe that's Daytona. To Tampa?
Where's
NASCAR?
this Tampa? Yeah, I would say in terms of NASCAR
Or is it
sanctioned-
Homestead?
Well,
Homestead's further south.
Okay.
Homestead's further
Yeah.
south. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like NASCAR, then you're getting into like ownership questions where like, what does Sebring count as? Because it's like owned by NASCAR, but the actual NASCAR series don't race there. So yeah, I
Let's
don't
just
know.
say NASCAR series to make it easier for you.
We'll just put this
So
in
it's
Daytona.
Daytona.
Yeah, this is great.
That's right.
Yeah.
Michigan,
I'll put this in
Michigan,
Daytona.
Bama, and Daytona. That's where the game is taking
That would
place.
be. There's so
in
many
our head.
people there. If that were
Raise hell, praise Dale.
if
Yeah.
that were an opening kickoff weekend game, there would be like
Oh.
100,000 people there.
I would
Daytona
be there.
filled.
Yes, I would be there in my Alabama 2009 championship crop top. Like that's I would be white trash city. I love it. Beth, did you just make it start singing? Because I'm
It-
obsessed.
Yes, a little
do
bit.
it. Do
Oh,
it.
go. Yeah,
Do
let's
it.
hear it.
Go, Beth,
Do it.
go. Can you play
The
Hail to the
slide.
Victors on it?
What?
Can you play Hail to the Victors on it?
I
Yeah, you
mean,
can.
I probably not.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun,
The
dun.
slide made
on,
it
do it,
sound
Beth.
like.
Let's hear
Yeah,
it.
do it.
No.
This is the saddest
I
version
like it.
ever.
Perfect.
It's got
It's jazz, folks.
It's jazz.
uh-huh.
It's gonna
Yeah.
take me a while
It's
before I
super.
can record my next version of the fight song on this.
The slide down just made it sound like when your mom is trying to sing along to All I Want for Christmas Is You. And she's like reaching for the notes,
Yep. Absolutely.
Of course, also on the 31st, we have the Sun Bowl.
Praise the Sun Bowl.
Hail
Oh,
Rob.
hell, Rob, the Sun Bowl.
The grunkle
And all
of them
the
all.
The Grunkle.
The grunkle of them all. The
Grunkle.
Sun Bowl, one of the oldest bowl games that doesn't get the fucking respect it deserves. Pitt Girl.
No. Yeah, so someone on
Respect
Blue
the
Sky
sun.
asked for like all your dumb hot takes, and one of the ones that someone posted that I actually agree with is that the Sun Bowl should be a playoff game.
Correct.
Fuck yeah.
This is the
Hell
correct
yeah.
take.
Yeah. Done. Put the Sun Bowl in the playoff.
It has more history than the Peach Bowl. It's
Playoff?
fine.
Sorry, Chick-fil-A,
Yes.
get out of here.
It has so much more history than the fucking Fiesta Bowl. The Fiesta
Yes.
Bowl is a fucking baby.
It is a
Yeah, but the
baby
Fiesta
compared
Bowl
to that.
is a spiritually correct, like perhaps the best example of like bowl game. Like this is used
Yeah.
car salesmen
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
drive tourism. Like we need to keep the Fiesta Bowl as an example of the kind.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a very vivid memory of from childhood of like watching the Fiesta Bowl with my dad. Alabama wasn't even playing; we were just watching games, and I was like, "Why is it called the Fiesta Bowl?" And my dad had to explain like the business of
Mhm.
like
Yes, the
college
business.
football to me. Yeah,
I mean,
mean,
this
like,
is
there's
this one
so
also.
many-
This is the most like not a criminalist bowl, but like they've had folks arrested on this bowl committee before. Also, this is
Yes.
the one with the giant jewel encrusted trophy.
The Fiesta
That's
Bowl
the
is
Fiesta Bowl,
the
yeah.
Illinois state government of bowls.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you could probably say Louisiana.
I was gonna say Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
Shit, we had a governor indicted like for casino money
Yeah.
laundering. Shout out to
Merry
Edwin Edwards.
Griftmas.
That's true. Yeah, usually when Illinois and governors get indicted, it's not for things that are as fun as casino
No,
grift.
racketeering.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's what you.
This game is on CBS like always, and it's
Da, 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 da,
It's
da,
the only
da.
bowl game on CBS.
Louisville versus Washington.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
And
I
Louisville has a new
kinda like
quarterback
this.
in.
they
Yeah.
do.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, this is going to be a weird. This is just Sun Bowl's always weird. Like
Yeah,
you can
don't
just
know what's
you can just say, okay, whatever this is.
I
There's
didn't
no
realize
extended
Washington
forecast
was
right
even
now.
bowl eligible.
7
Oh,
and
hey,
5.
hey, Pitt Girl, this is an ACC Big Ten bowl game.
Technically, yes.
Uh huh.
Pac-12
Although this is
historical.
still a
yeah.
Pac-12 spot, yeah.
El Paso. Do I have an extended forecast? Give me some weird weather. El
I'm
Paso.
changing nothing about the Sun Bowl. The Sun Bowl is perfect in every single way.
That is correct.
It is
It is.
a beautiful, wonderful thing. We don't change things about this.
Even though there's way too many furry fans that love Tony the Tiger,
Yeah.
That is
Can't-
true.
we can't stop
But
that.
But who needs to stop that?
Nah, I'm not stopping nothing.
If the furries turn in, the ratings would be through the roof.
I mean, and then again, you dump Frosted Flakes on the winning coach. We got that's awesome. That's great. You get like the sugar dust rainbow in El Paso in the sun. It's great.
2 more games. First off, same day. This is the 31st. The Citrus Bowl, the classic. This is no longer the Citrus Bowl. This is the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, which means that we get the return of Chedsy.
Yes.
Now, it has been 3 years since we have last seen Prince Chedward.
Where is he?
We don't know where he is.
I think he's probably living under assumed name in Switzerland, sending his children to boarding school.
Oh, I thought he was hiding as one of the students in the commercial, the football players in the commercial. He just wakes up feeling the cheesiest.
Or guys, and I don't want to make this dark, but they might have executed him for being a monarchist. And somewhere there's, I mean, that's Chedzy's, Chedzy really represents, the rise of the proletariat, whereas
Chedsy is for the people. But I feel like if Chedsy did in fact execute Prince Chedward in the name of the revolution, we would have gotten to see him get guillotined.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm just worried, like, who will speak for the First Estate?
A traditional problem, right?
I mean, Chedsy doesn't speak. Chedsy's not
I'm
edible.
just picturing the universe feudal system.
The Cheez-It tennis court oath.
Yes.
Weirdly enough, the Pop-Tart is the head of the Second Estate. Like, don't think too hard about it.
Do you think Prince Chedward saw this was coming and then he fled the country? Like he decided to go south? South America?
Now he's in Moscow too. Bashar al-Assad and Prince Chedward.
Oh my god.
Playing cards in Moscow.
I had him going south just because I wanted to call them the Queso Principe. But
that's good too.
That's all I wanted.
All of a sudden, Prince Chedward's hanging out in some Brazilian city called Novo Hamburgo with a bunch of Germans. It's really weird.
I had him in Argentina.
That's a real city in Brazil. I'm not joking. Novo Hamburgo is a real place.
Stuff like that, not the ones that are like,
Yes.
questionably full of former Nazis, but stuff like that in South America is some of my favorite things. Like there's a whole town in, I think, Argentina that speaks Welsh.
Yeah.
Shout out also to Chilean liberator Bernardo O'Higgins.
No, wait. So you said Novo Hamburgo? What?
Yes.
Yeah, Novo New Hamburg.
Okay. No, I just feel like it was like a Northern Virginia hamburger joint.
Oh, Novo Hamburger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's outside of DC.
It's funny that
Got
we're
mambo
on this
sauce
little
in
yeah.
Yeah, it's totally there.
No, they're like the opposite of like a monarchy bowl because Cheez-It just signed both quarterbacks, so both South Carolina and Illinois quarterbacks to NIL deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. Are they going to do Are they doing the hotel room again this year? Last year they had the big Cheez-It hotel room.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Rooms. They signed players to hotel rooms and like Cheez-It themed, like you had like bedding and I mean,
Yeah, the
it
pillows
was,
and stuff. I
it
remember.
was crazy. I remember. Our I guess Orlando Pop-Tart Bowl and Cheez-It Bowl correspondents Katie and Melanie will be at both of these games. We did get approved for credentials for both of those.
Hell yeah.
Katie's a big fan of the Cheez-It nail polish.
Yes.
She
Oh, yeah.
bought a bit of that, and she still has it for the game. She's ready to go. She's thrilled for that. She'll be at the Pop-Tarts Bowl also. So yeah, we're gonna have this one covered pretty well. Chedsy not necessarily being edible is a little bit of a bummer, I would say.
Yeah.
He seems to be actively afraid of being eaten, which is not something
Yes.
I want.
Yes.
Coward.
And I really
You would think,
Like,
given
can-
how much the revolution always eats its own.
I was gonna say, let them eat
True
Cheez-Its.
let them eat Cheez-Its. Perfect.
Is Chedsy the Cheez-It Revolution's Robespierre? Is this the reign of terror?
Yes.
Roquefort's Pierre, I believe.
God damn it. Oh, Beth. God damn it.
You're welcome. I'm well rested, bitches.
I don't know that I can do it with you well rested. You're too sharp and fast. I'm too slow. And then
Hot and
lastly,
spicy like the Cheez-Its.
we have the
Did we-
Tejas Bowl. Oh no, I didn't
did we
read spin the
spin the
wheel.
wheel?
Sorry.
You gotta
I'm
spin
sorry,
the wheel.
guys.
Spin
We
the
moved
wheel of
this.
cheese.
We moved this game 2 states north to the largest city in that state. That's
Is that
going to
South
be
Carolina?
South Carolina.
Yes.
And
Charleston?
Charleston. Hey, you know what? Charleston needs a bowl game.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Cheez-Its in Charleston. I mean, that's kind of a home game for South Carolina.
Yeah.
The Illini.
Yeah. That's a really good choice.
Bertavius Bielema out there in South Carolina.
And named for Charles II of England, who
Okay.
was the restoration of the monarchy.
Oh, there we go.
Prince Chedward is back. That's where he fled from.
Prince Chedward going
Man.
to Charleston.
Watch when Ched Z goes to the fucking gallows. I
Not
will
to
be there
declare,
cheering
My
on.
name is Prince Chedward.
I'm just trying to picture how you put a noose on a square cracker.
Well, they do have the hole in the middle.
holes.
Yeah.
This cheese is
Or
melting.
is that torture? Like,
This is gonna be a new meaning to Low Country Boil.
Well, I just
Oh
See,
no!
now
for this
I'm just-
queso.
I'm stuck on Chedsy as Oliver Cromwell, but that doesn't work
Yes.
because Cromwell notoriously hated fun.
yeah. Well,
And Ched Z loves fun. Wiggity, woogity, woogity. Ched Z loves fun.
Chedsy loves fun. That's why he's Robespierre.
Ched Z does looks like Spuds McKenzie or like Joe Camel. He has that vibe.
Now I'm just imagining a cathedral like where Chedsy is buried, with like a full effigy.
it's a
I'm adding
bronze.
that to the
bronze
vision
Cheez-It.
board.
Is that where old mascots go? Is there a place we bury them all? Is that where the Bitcoin is?
I will take this moment to remind our listeners that if you have any knowledge of where the mascot costume from the 2011 Bitcoin Bowl or whatever it was,
Please.
if you know where that costume is, please DM us because we want it.
Yeah, totally.
The
Maybe it was
last
on the
bowl, of
Tesla I
course.
saw today
We
with
would
the
pass that thing around
Bitcoin,
like the Sisterhood of the
logo.
Traveling Pants.
Uh-huh.
Totally.
If we have Stanley Cup.
Going to the Brawl as the Bitcoin from the Bitcoin Bowl, going to the D2 Championship as the Bitcoin from the Bitcoin Bowl.
Last bowl that we're going to talk about is the Texas Bowl. This is Baylor versus LSU. This
Oh,
one
God.
is like Texas Bowl usually is a pretty good game. I'm excited for this one. This year Texas Bowl is no longer a tax act. It's the sauce
Okay.
company now. It is Kinder's, which is the official
Oh.
sauce and seasoning of the college football playoff this year.
What kind of sauce?
Barbecue sauce.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking like pasta sauce, and I was about to be extremely skeptical of pasta sauce from Texas.
Yeah, that's
so
we
it's
don't do
Kin-
that.
Okay, I thought it was the Kinder Egg.
I did too.
Those
We-
aren't legal
first.
Those
here.
are illegal.
No, you can buy them here, but they have to be in 2 separate halves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ones that you can get here are not the good ones.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
not,
we don't-
for sure. Not.
You gotta have them.
This one also has the rodeo.
Oh, that's probably one of my favorite like bowl associated events that they have is the rodeo.
Yes.
It's nuts. And so like you have like Baylor and I mean LSU's technically LSU A&M. So they do have a good ag program at LSU. So Baylor and LSU doing the rodeo, that I'm kind of fascinated to see who wins that. Not necessarily the bowl game. But it'd be kind of funny because Dave Aranda was the former DC for LSU. And it's like bring Dave Aranda to bowl for some LSU fans. Which would be kind of funny because, you know, I mean, Brian Kelly in Houston in the humidity.
He's going to be so purple.
I know it's in a dome,
It's
but
shiny.
he's going to be sweating. Brian Kelly's going to be sweating.
Oh, Beth, please never say
Mr.
that again.
Okay.
Say it again, Beth.
Say it again, Beth.
The moistening.
Moist.
Oh God, Jordan, get out of here.
Nope.
I'm out. Have it out.
I did spin the wheel. It said we're calling this one. We have to rename this after a defunct bowl game, but I'm not going to spin the other wheel because this is becoming the old Astro Bluebonnet Bowl.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
It was originally the Bluebonnet Bowl, and then when it moved to
Okay.
the Astrodome, it was called the Astro Bluebonnet Bowl, which is super
Blue
spacey.
bonnets in space.
Space blue
Aw.
bonnet.
I was going to say astronaut ice cream.
I need to show you
Dippin'
guys.
Dots Bowl.
I promise I've shown. I think I've seen some of this before, but this is the groundbreaking. I'm going to put it, Jamie, in the show notes so you can see it too. This is a shot from the groundbreaking of the Astrodome.
Yeah. I love this every single time.
Girl, tell me what you're using to break ground.
Well,
I
I
love
can't
it.
see it yet.
I know. Is it like a 700 megabyte picture again that you got?
my
Jordan?
Oh my God.
No.
They're shooting the ground.
They are shooting the ground.
This is the
And
most Texas thing I've ever seen in my life.
And it's a beautiful hand-painted sign. It says world's first air-conditioned dome stadium, groundbreaking, January 3rd, 1962. And there are 7 guys with pistols just shooting straight into the ground.
And wait, did you see the? Okay, never mind. You counted those, the 2 guys on the end, because I missed those at first. I missed them. Drip is immaculate.
A literal groundbreaking.
Yeah, this game just feels like the most fun fan base with the least fun fan base that I could think of. You know, for them to interact. Granted, I've only been to one game where Baylor fans were in attendance, but I have a soft spot in my heart for LSU and their fans, and I'm just like, yeah, I'd love to see them. And then I'm thinking about everyone that goes to Baylor. I'm
gonna say this: like Baylor fans have kind of loosened up over the past 10 years. Just living here, just living here in San Antonio.
The dancing help.
The dancing.
What about
help.
TCU? Because they're the other group
Like,
that I'm like.
So
it's kind of
only nominally Christian.
Technically Christian University. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
It's like how Duke is technically Methodist. Like,
Right.
They've loosened up. Like they have not they've loosened up a good bit. They have like calmed down a little bit on that aspect of things, and Baylor's been kind of fun. Like their fans have been kind of fun, but they're they got the new stadium. They improved their campus a big time. Like after RG3 won the Heisman, that school kind of just relaxed for a bit, and they've been a little bit more fun. Now every one of their attendees, you can't count on that. There could still be some lingering Baylorness, I would say, but
the Bayloring.
The Bayloring, yeah.
But I mean, how much fun though is the idea of Baylor walking into an LSU tailgate?
Yeah, that's not gonna. LSU fans will welcome you.
Yeah.
The Baylor fans will probably be like, "What is going on here?" Are
you new
for
here?
the most part, like, what is this? you're like trash talking me in a nice way, but you're still giving me food. This doesn't make sense. Like how you like gently, you're like ribbing me, calling me tiger bait, but here, have some jambalaya. You know, just,
And the
I love that.
strongest
Like,
mixed drinks you will ever have in your life.
yes, I mean, and how much? Like, do you
It
want me to
doesn't
pay
even
for this?
taste like alcohol.
It does. Yeah, that's again, you know, being
I
from New
mean,
Orleans
theoretically,
myself
the Baylor fans
and
should
a bartender.
Mhm.
They're,
True.
they're not going to know.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
They
Okay.
It's like
should
the
know.
BYU. It's like BYU
Oh, yes.
playing like UNLV. I would pay so much money to see that.
Jamie, thank you so much for joining us. If people like what you do, where can they find you?
I am at Glitterburrito across the internet, except for on Instagram. It's my full government name, Jamie Kirsten Howard. I have 2 podcasts. I have The Bloody Broads, which is a horror movie and book discussion podcast. And then I have How Did You Get Here, which is a career path podcast about how people got to their current jobs. I also am a columnist at horrormovieblog.com.
Ooh, all sorts of fancy things. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time.
Thank you for having me. I had a blast.
And folks, we will see you. Well, first off, when you get this, Merry Christmas, but also that on the morning of the 25th, you're going to get a special episode of the Sickos Community Podcast. One of the most deranged things we've ever done.
Yeah.
It's our Christmas music draft. You'll also get a Spotify playlist with all the songs on it.
That's going
And
to be,
so I hope you enjoy that.
that's going to be really interesting. I'm going to sing it again at the end of this podcast. You know, what I said on that podcast. Scarlet nights, holy nights, brown young rockers and Scalloway tonight.